All right, time for another Fibble. This is the game that's just like Wordle, but on every row, one of the clues is a lie. They're starting us with LAITY. Now, this word has come up before, and people said they didn't know what it was. So, LAITY basically means there's kind of two uses for it, I guess, in my mind. They mean the same thing, but the main way I've heard it is in church or religious situations where you have like the pastors and the clergy and the people who have, gone to school to be ordained to be a pastor, and the laity are the rest of the people who are not clergy, basically. But it can also be used in a non-religious sense to mean like the non-professionals, right? So if you're just kind of the everyday, if you in sports, if you just like to go play baseball, you could be considered part of the laity as opposed to like the professionals, something like that. So you're just kind of the normal people is the laity. So at any rate, that's what that means. But to solve it, since I have hard mode turned on, I have to. All of my guesses have to be potential answers. So I like to try to assume the yellows and greens are true. So we could do something like triad. That would be good. The T would be the lie. Okay. Well, interesting. We didn't get. So I'm typically looking for contradictions, which will help us identify lies, and we didn't find any of those. We could assume these are all true again and do ARI. We could still do the T potentially. The T could still be the lie. Otherwise, we could do... See, we can't do like trial. There'd be too many lies. If we assume the T is the lie, like this, then the A would have to... If the T is at the beginning, then the A would have to be at the end. I don't think that works. So I think we have to have the A at the beginning if we're assuming those are all true. But then we have to have... if they're all true, then there has to be a gray that's a lie on both lines. And I don't know that either of those things work. So, what if we did like an AIR? That would be interesting. So the A would be the lie in laity, and the R would be the lie in triad, but we wouldn't be able to use any of the grays, but we could, we can't, I wanted to do fairy, but we can't do the Y. We could do fairs. That's not terrible. Let's go for it. Okay, so this is interesting. So one of these two I's has to be a lie. In fact, before we get to that, let's look at the first and the third line. These two cannot both be true, right? Either it's green or it's not green. Like it's in the word or it's not. Those can't both be true. One of those two, therefore, is a lie. They could both be lies, but at least one of them is a lie. Whichever one of those is a lie, on that line, everything else has to be true. So we know the yellow A will be true on at least one of these two lines, and therefore it has to be true on both. Now, similarly, we can say one of these two has to be a lie. We don't know which one, but one of them has to be a lie. And therefore, one of these two R's has to be true, at least. It's possible they're both true and there's two R's, but most likely one of the two R's is a lie. Assuming one of these two R's, you could do this, right? Well, you could also do, wouldn't have to be the I. It's possible there's two R's. If there's not two R's, then we know that everything else in those rows is true, but if the gray I is true, then both of these are lies. If we're assuming the I is true, interesting. So if we did, so we know there is an A. If we do RI, then if you do the A there, that's the lie in triad. But you can't do the AR there. Oh, yeah. Okay, right. So if this is true, if the I is true, then this is a lie and that R is true. So if there's an I, then this R has to be true. I don't think this is gonna be a thing. You'd have to have an A at the end or at the beginning. I don't think that's gonna work. So I don't think... If there is an I, if the I is true, then the R is going to be there and not second. Which then means, yeah. which then means that this is true, right? If the R is fourth, we know there's an A. The A can't be there, so therefore this is true. That's if the green I is true, then the green A has to be true. If the gray I is true, then this is a lie and this is true. So that yellow A is true either way. So the A is first, third, or fifth. I'm kind of thinking there's no I in the middle. That's what I'm thinking. And maybe we have an A in the middle. But if there's no I, then the green I is the lie. Oh, right. The green I is the lie on both of the first two rows. So you have to have the R second then. Which means the other R is probably the lie. And then we just need an A first or fifth. No, we're not doing the I. We're doing maybe RA or something. We're saying the I is the lie. And then all the grays are going to be true as well. But we could do, I mean, at this point, it's just anything we want that we haven't guessed yet. So, let's make a brave third guess. All right, well, being brave worked out for us this time. Wow, okay, there had to have been a bunch of, grape, for example, grave, break. There had to be a bunch of things that would still work, but that ended up being the one today. All right, well, got it in 3 with a triad of guesses, I suppose. And maybe it wasn't very fairs that I got lucky, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So anyways, let me know if you are part of the LAITY and how your solve went today. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.